You know what I do like?
What do you like,
The
Woolie?
complete opposite of this.
Yeah, which is it's out.
At the very least, yo, we're in alpha. Here's a key. Go try it.
There are so many keys for Nioh 2 going around. I had like 10 different people go, I'm not going to use my key. You want it? So I got a key.
Yeah. Same.
Guess what?
It's Nioh.
It's more Nioh.
It's Nioh.
You can turn into a demon now.
So
This is a fucking sequel.
this is in the truest sense of the word. But because they worked so hard on the last game,
If they jump off from where the last game ended, that's a pretty good start.
well, what I was gonna say is if you ended up stopping Nioh early on in its life cycle last time, you're gonna see a whole bunch of quality of life improvements that you missed out on because they kept making this fucking game.
I keep wanting to go back to Nioh. I just need to figure out the stat and armor stuff is so complex, and I don't want it to be there. You know?
I love it because it allows glamour.
No, the glamour shit is great. Like, I was just talking to fucking Eogard, where, like, they're not even at level cap, but the favorite thing they do in 14 is fucking glam their doll, right? Dressing your dolls up in your video game is for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's where Warframe makes, like, almost all of its fucking money is making your doll pretty. And extending that feature to more games is paramount. I just mean the stats on the gear. There's a lot, like, even for a guy like me, there's a lot of fucking weird stats. And the stats that you do have don't follow, like, the what I would call, I guess, the D&D classics, which is strength, dex, etc. They're weird amalgams, and it's unclear if I want the...
So you pick up, like, this weird sword that's terrible in every way, but it's got amazing luck, like purple luck, and you're like,
Is this good?
hold on to this?
I don't know.
Yeah. Nioh continues to be like no, even if I'm not giving it the time of day, I will admire it from afar.
Yeah,
forever.
I go back and bounce off that game like once every 3 or 4 months.
Because it's doing the most combat-wise.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
of
fascinating.
all the Souls-likes, it's the one that is doing... Like, it gives you multiple buttons and stances.
I will say that as a product, Nioh 1 is probably a much better game than Sekiro. There's way...
I have no problem with that sentence.
way more shit in there.
I have no problem,
that is
yeah.
good and impressive.
Oh, yeah. No, Team Ninja did a better Samurai Souls than Fromsoft did.
Absolutely.
That's...
Which I thought is hilarious compared to how I looked at
I'm
them.
not done yet.
Yeah, but...
Right? Opinion pending.
Yeah.
But I feel like so far, just on a combat level, I definitely feel that.
There's way more to it.
Yeah. Sekiro, you know, like, because in this genre of game, like, you don't actually need more than... Like, you don't need more than one, like, sword swing button in many cases, and a lot of games don't bother giving you that, right? The combat doesn't need to get complex because damage and difficulty
or
and learning the
weapons
variety will be enough. But this going over and above and creating weapon variety and stance variety
like
and ability trees for each weapon.
The thing is for this, right, is that like,
wild.
I remember they would add, it came out with like 5 weapons total. I think they're up to 7, and it's just like, oh, we added 1 weapon. I'm like, oh, that's pretty lame. And then I get a hold of it. I'm like, oh, every weapon is actually 3 weapons, and every one of those 3 stances has a complicated moveset that has its own skill tree. Wow. And you compare that to Sekiro, which has 1 weapon with 1 moveset. Like, you remember when we talked about Sekiro, our number 1 complaint is that you get all these moves, but you can't actually use them?
Yeah, it's...
Nioh is the opposite. You're fucking drowning in a moveset.
Sekiro, you get prosthetics in Sekiro, and prosthetics are basically Mega Man upgrades.
Yeah.
You're not running through a stage with fucking Gust using it as your main thing the whole time
you'll
through.
Use it for this bad
you pull it out, and then you
or
pull it
this
out, and then you put it
boss.
away. Yeah, you know? Nioh, yeah, you're absolutely surrounded and overwhelmed in, like how you want it, what style you want to use, and then you have the branches with each one, you have the specific move upgrades, and then you get the one thing I will say is that, like, Sekiro does a really fun thing by having parry button and
Yeah, the parry
posture.
button's fucking nuts.
Parry and posture are wild and really, really fun.
But the problem with me, anyway, is that's the game's, like, big trick. And then when you beat the game, when you beat all the bosses and you've beaten the game, that trick is done. Because you just know, right?
And I mean, in terms of, like, and there's so much more going on with like how much Nioh gives you and how much you can do.
Yeah.
And then the multiplayer aspects and whatnot as well. Like,
man, so one of the things about the Nioh 2 Alpha that really shocked me was that I did not know that you were going to be create a character, right? And you can be a guy or a lady now, which is a feature they added in Nioh 2. In Nioh Original.
At the end.
But the craziest thing, and it made me say something kind of stupid on Discord, but I clicked the 4th character creator. It's like, oh my god, there's a real black guy as a character selector in this.
Right.
And my friends on Discord went, what the fuck? What? Because they weren't playing. I'm like, no, in Japanese games, even Fromsoft games, where you were the one who taught me about this, where the only way to get a darker skin tone is just drag it down to like a negative value, and then you get like a fucking weird charcoal monster.
Purple.
Because they don't give a shit about the way skin tones work.
Yeah.
It's like they put work into that. Those characters actually look really fantastic.
And you get an animal buddy. And you can switch them up.
Yeah.
Though they don't actually stay out as buddies, they just kind of possess you.
They're just kind of spirits.
Yeah. I'm really, between this and Third Birthday, though, I gotta say, like, I'm, like...
What is the link between this and Third Birthday?
Third Birthday has Liberation.
Uh-huh.
Right? Remember Liberation in Parasite Eve 1 and 2?
Yeah.
It was the angel form.
Yeah.
Liberation now makes her glow a bit and do Jill-style teleport dashes.
Great.
And that's about it.
Awesome.
And I'm really just like, I have it out for games where you go like, where you pop a devil trigger,
yeah,
and it's just you, but you're glowing now.
Oh, it sucks.
I'm like, I
was done with that since Devil May Cry 4.
Yeah, I now hate it. Like, if your game does that, I now hate that your game does that.
If I'm gonna pop a mode, make me look cool, please.
This lazy ass drop an Omni on the character's chest and call it a day method of super.
Yeah, it sucks.
Especially when you have to build a big bar up to it.
Oh, it's total ass.
Fuck off. Or like,
it's supposed to be a big triumphant moment for your character.
Yeah, and if you're too lazy to do that, then do something where the world turns black and white, or make it creative in some way. But holy shit, man!
You know what's interesting to me about the Oni form in this is that it has the most Ninja Gaiden move in the entire game, where you hold the button for your charge attack and it absorbs the currency to boost it, just like it did back in the Ninja Gaiden games.
Cool.
It's like, listen, this game's hard. Burn this currency right now to kill these fuckers.
Yeah. No, I'm really happy that Nioh continues to be a successful thing that exists, and we're looking at like them continuing this, and it's full on like it's doing its own Samurai Souls,
Also, the way that this game series is developed is the most like forthright and positive and feel-good way I have almost ever seen a Japanese game developed, where they put out an alpha for free just to tons of people. Shit ton of people are playing this, going, hey guys, here's what we got, tell us what you think. And then the next time they're going to put out a demo or a beta, and it will have every suggestion that was sent to them improved. And they go, okay, what about this? Okay, what about this? Nioh had like 3 of those, and then they kept doing it for the entire length of that game's existence.
Yeah.
The whole time, every fucking 6 months, they'd be like, hey, so we added a new weapon, and we added a hard difficulty that is a whole new Game Plus game, and you can change into a girl now, and the blacksmith can also be a girl, and here's a loot sorting option that didn't exist in the thing where you can sort the loot, and here's this. Oh, here's the expansion. It comes with this stuff and then this new type of stuff. It's like the whole, like 2 years.
The crafting menu and items and that entire thing is like the best and simplest and easiest and most understandable and clear it's ever been. Like when you're dealing, like it really just, it feels like you can quality of life yourself from a 6 to a 9.
Yeah.
You know, if your game is best is a 6 ultimately at the core, and you it feels like with a
Add
couple
more
of
features, clean stuff up,
make things feel good, and put some shit on the back end.
it cannot be overstated how much polish can help a game.
It's wild. It really is. But like, yeah, I say you can go from a 6 to a fucking 9 with quality of life, and you can go from a 9 to a 6 without quality of life. If you're one of those companies that is too busy doing things your way, which has been the way forever, and you refuse to learn from what others have clearly established as the way to do it.
So it's funny because the first thing that pops into my mind when you say that is fighting games. And the first thing this game's great. Why is the online so terrible? Why does only the first player get to choose whether or not we rematch or character select?
Why can't I plug in my legacy stick?
Why don't my character costumes save between sessions?
Why doesn't it pause why does it pause when I tap it and not hold it?
Why does the game not pause when I unplug the fucking controller?
Why can't I tap to set my buttons?
But like,
why are there no lobbies? Why are there
shit lobbies?
Why are there no open rooms where people can meet up, Arxis style, and like create their own groups?
Why is there no good latency selection via quick search?
Why is there no story mode?
Why is there no good record feature in the training mode?
Why does the training mode not have some basic details that like would help with people trying to get better? With these moves?
Why is there no ability to put the move list on screen and have it cycle downwards as you complete every move?
You have the frame data already displaying in the debug menu. Why not let the player see it?
Why can't you just turn the visual hitboxes on for literally every fighting game ever?
Why not have an instant rematch button at the end of a versus game?
Why not? Why make you go back to character select every single time? Now imagine a game that had every feature we just described and a game that had 0 of the features we just described, but they're the same game. It makes a big fucking difference.
That's like a 4 to a 9.
Yeah. Even though the game's great. You remember that horrible period that we are just getting over now of this fighting game's great. The online's terrible, so most of its audience will never be able to enjoy it ever.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just period. And I remember Persona 4 Arena was the first one that I got to go, look at this! This game's fucking awesome! Everyone should play it, and the online's great. And it blew up.
So, there's a feature that I have never seen since Metal Warriors on the Super Nintendo. And I understand that it's just for fun, so it's not something that I'm hard requesting. But god damn it, did I love the ability to do rematch?
Yeah.
Rematch with a different stage.
Yeah.
Scramble.
At the very least, it's quite rare, but there are a couple fighters I've played, and I'm sure you have too, where if you pick random select and you hit rematch,
it'll re-random.
The stage is random select.
It actually randoms
and it's like that is the biggest fucking. If I pick random, I want a fucking random stage.
Exactly.
Guys. I don't want to fucking do the same stage over, because then you do the things like rematch. It's like we just want to play a different stage. Then you go back to character select.
Yeah. So
what is it,
that's
like
it.
15 seconds out of your life. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Just rematch, change stage, or random stage.
Unless you're playing Tekken 5.
And then scramble is random stage, random characters.
Yeah.
Right? Which is just, it's a wild button.
Yeah.
But if you're having a super casual time, just do that. You can just do that.
Ah, crap, I got 12.
You know? Yeah. Yeah. It really, and these are all good ideas that exist. They're out there. People,
the design implementation has been solved on any number of levels. You can just look at your competitors and look at how they did it.
And anyone who is sitting down and designing a dock or designing from the first stages up at this point in time probably is a fan, or at the very least has a bunch of references to games that have done this before. And it just doesn't. It just comes down. It comes down to like, why would you not include all of these possibilities?
Skullgirls is a really good
unless
example.
You're just like, we have one programmer, we have 12 months.
Yeah, Skullgirls is a really good example, and the for a number of reasons. But the one that I want to bring up, and yes, I know it is a technical concern. It is difficult to do, and even the Skullgirls implementation isn't perfect. But Skullgirls' rotating, always fighting lobby is the coolest online lobby. And I have never seen it anywhere else, and I doubt we'll ever see it again.
Where everybody in the lobby gets to fight.
Yeah, there's 8 people in this. Well, there should be 4 matches going on. Yeah, you'll wait a couple minutes as other people finish, and then they'll rotate around. But what? Yeah, why should it be 7 people, 6 people watching too?
Yeah,
just have the people in the rest of the lobby.
You can turn winner stays on if you want, but everyone wants to play.
Yeah.
It just there's just an overwhelming amount, and every genre has this stuff. Right now, we pay attention to fighting games, so we pulled fucking 20 to 30 of those off.
I could go for an hour over MMO ones.
I feel like we just demonstrated, like, yeah, you pick a genre, and if you know enough about play enough of that genre.
You know what's one of the ones that's actually really wild that I never even thought of, and then I'm sure a lot of people. So in an RPG you sort your items.
Yeah.
At 14 at one point a couple patches ago added unsort.
Yeah.
Because some people keep their items in really specific grids,
and you want to put it back there.
And then you sort them, and
Great.
Oh fucking shit!
Fantastic.
Okay,
fantastic.
Unsort it. Go back to how it was.
Yeah. Now, if you're someone out there that's listening to this and you're either thinking or typing in the chat, oh yeah, X game does this. Oh yeah, MVC does that. Or Guilty Gear did. Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah,
they should all do it. We know that these individual games do it.
And then we can move forward to new
They should all do it. 100%, you know? Quality of fucking life. Priceless, man. Nioh is a godsend in that regard. You know? And here's the other thing about it. When you know that when you invest in Nioh, right, by purchasing the video game.
By purchasing the video game Nioh.
You know that months, if not a year out or 2, you are going to consistently get changes and
you're talking
things.
about Nioh 2 now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, you know that buying into this no matter
will be supported.
Whatever your experience is at first, it will continue to improve as you play the game more.
That used to be the Valve model.
How early are we talking?
The Half-Life.
Yeah. Okay.
There's going to be stuff coming out for Half-Life. There's going to be stuff coming out for Counter-Strike. There's going to be stuff coming out
in a multiplayer context.
Yeah, all sorts of contexts. But now, you know what I like? Games that you buy as a product but get treated like a service over time.
Giving you, that's the backwards economic model, though. Treating it like a service, right? So, service as a game.
Yeah.
Service as a game.
There it is. There it is. Because, I mean, it's not in the news, but I'm going to bring up Anthem. Do you know it's been over a month since there's been a single developer statement from Anthem?
Yeah.
That game is functionally dead.
Yeah.
Oops. Right? That's a game that was sold as a service that the service no longer exists.
That's straight up something to take to the fucking
Apparently
bank,
they're going to talk about Anthem at E3, and all I can think of is a straight up complete fucking redo. Because if they don't, then no one will ever buy this type of thing from EA ever again. You have to eat this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like think of Final Fantasy if they had never done a Realm Reborn, if they had just let FF14 just die. The way it was.
If you just take a second to think about language, right?
Yeah, let's think about language.
An MMO is a service.
It is the MMO was and is the game as a service.
Therefore,
that game will fucking go away in the future.
So, in that sense, like, an MMO is effectively service as a service.
Yes.
Which people are fine with because you know what you're getting.
I'm going to pay my $15 a month. You're going to add shit
You're
to the game.
giving me a service as a service because I'm requesting it and you're giving it to me.
Thank you.
Otherwise, I want a game as a game.
Yeah, so for example, if your MMO goes down, DDoS attacks, here's 2 free weeks because those weeks were fucked up, right? Okay, great. Game does that. You're like, this shit doesn't work.
Okay.
You also want your money back.
I bought a copy of this game. It was $50, and I'm moving to Siberia, and I'm living in a cabin. And
Goodbye.
I'm plugging in my console, and I want all my content here.
Good.
Great.
Done.
Game as a game.
No.
Bayonetta.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
So, at the very basic level, thing as the same thing is what you're willing to purchase because you know what you're getting.
That's right.
The idea of swapping one for the other means you think you're getting this, but you're actually getting that.
Yeah.
And when you say something, or when I say something like service as a game, you're like, oh, wow, I thought I was just getting a game. Turns out there was a persistent improvement experience coming alongside it.
That I'm also not paying for.
Hollow Knight. Thank you.
Wow.
That's very... No one asked you for this, but thanks, right?
People who didn't back Shovel Knight. Like, just, hey, here's more.
Yeah. I bought a burger. Turns out you gave me a trio.
I'll take that.
And you brought it...
You're making me want to go to fucking Wendy's so bad, dude. I'm going to go to that fucking Wendy's after this.
Can't stop you. And you brought it to my table.
Yeah. You didn't... Isn't that weird when a fast food person brings food to your table?
It is. Some places do it.
I don't like it.
Some places do it to simplify the line system.
I want them to call me up and I'll go get it.
And if they take a number, find me. That's fine. You know. But that's the thing, right? Ultimately, you expect to get what you have paid for.
Yeah.
And if you swap one for the other, and it goes down, why would people accept that?
There are some games that get to bend the rules. Warframe bends the rules. Warframe's weird. The way that money, it's weird, right? We're also in this really bizarre state, which I feel like the MMO talk is perfect because games as a service are in a really weird place, right? Destiny 1 is a pseudo game as a service, right? There was never a sub cost, but they would make expansions and stuff like that. But that game's not really supported anymore, right? Mm-hmm. Then we had all those MMOs who died. Mm-hmm. The Asheron's Call, that's dead. Matrix Online, that's dead, etc. Right? City Heroes, which is apparently very beloved.
They killed Morpheus, man.
Dead, right?
So, not as dead as you might think if you look in the right corners of the internet.
Wooly. Private servers for anything.
Yeah.
And then you get really weird stuff. Like, you see how popular WoW Classic is?
You told me.
How people are going absolutely out of their mind for WoW Classic? Because that game doesn't exist anymore. But now it will. And the weird thing is because, well, WoW is fucking 14 and a half years old. So, MMOs used to have a shelf life. And it was like 7 years tops. And then they would die because no one would give a shit anymore, right? Mm-hmm. WoW and FF11 and RuneScape, they're still here.
11 has no business still being around.
11, by the way, so 11 is done. It's finished.
Yeah. I mean, it has a direct replacement.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, boy.
They're very different.
Okay.
They're very, very different.
Okay. All right. Fine. Fair.
11,
I don't know what
11
I'm
is an old style MMO where do you want to walk outside of a town, you have a party, or you will die.
Yeah, I did have this conversation back in college.
Yeah, I remember.
With somebody arguing that they preferred this method.
And as the player base went down, they invented a system in which you can have AI partners fill your party up. And that game is done now. Like, you hit level 99 and everything is there, and it's not being... Like, it's still being run and bug fixed, but it's new stuff isn't coming out, right? It's been like that for like 3 years, 4 years. And it still has a respectable sub count. So, and it's getting a phone port, you know that, right?
Yeah.
So, it's it's so weird because you sign up for a game like this and you're like, I'm going to enjoy my time with it, and it's just going to go away one day.
And I'm sure Square was like, it will.
Yeah.
And then they're like, people are still paying.
But does it have to? Because it doesn't really have to.
Well, how much are we spending on servers?
This.
How much are we getting in from subs?
This.
Well, then,
we'll just keep it up.
And we don't have to
just keep it up.
Change or...
So now we're in this thing of like, if you're an MMO and you make it, right? Or a free-to-play game and you make it, like League or Dota, stuff like that, as long as you don't kill the game.
Yep.
you can kind of run it forever.
And
or a direct replacement comes out.
If you run it long enough that no one expects more to
Right.
happen inside of it,
Yeah.
then you're allowed to just let it float.
As long as you don't kill it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, they're like, WoW had the biggest mountain ever of subs. It's never going to happen again for a subscription MMO. And every expansion since Wrath, which was like 10 years ago, has knocked like a couple million people off that number. Like, it has been bleeding for years and years and years and years. And now the only thing I ever hear about World of Warcraft is how shitty World of Warcraft is and how upset people are. And every couple weeks there's somebody that I see going, I stayed with WoW this whole time, and then this last new thing they put it just ruined it for me, and I can't.
But there's always a natural bleed, of course.
Yeah,
though.
but each expansion is apparently just awful. Everybody
Okay.
gets it. And people, the sub count bumps up because expansion, and it goes boom, and it deflates because people don't like it. And it's fascinating. But yeah, as long as you don't kill it. Hell, even if you released like Shadowbringers, right? And Shadowbringers was the end, and there was an ending to the FF14 like MMO in there. You could probably just run it like that for like 5 years. As long as you didn't ruin it. It's fucking wild.
All that to say that anyone who bought Nioh 1 got way more than they expected.
Yes, absolutely. You got a good deal.
And anyone who was on since the Nioh Alpha that was submitting ideas and then actually getting listened to.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
You know? And this is a fucking... Like, we have these examples of these games where we go, okay, Nioh, Hollow Knight, Skullgirls.
Yeah.
Like, there's...
I'm going to look at the chat, see if there are others that pop up.
You know what?
Because there's probably a couple.
I'll even give it to the fucking new No Man's Sky. Right?
Yeah, they did keep working on it.
Give it to them. They did that, right?
They did do it.
But you have, like, you're counting on one hand.
Enter the Gungeon just came up. A lot of those roguelikes.
You're counting single entries in, like, games that actually went as far as they could to bring a better experience to the player over time for free.
Dying Light had a lot of stuff added to it.
Yep.
Monster Hunter is actually a pretty good example.
Kirby Star Allies, they kept
No.
going. They kept going.
Hey, isn't that nuts? Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
Killing Floor. I'm a big fan of Killing Floor. I never got into the second one. But that shit, just endless new shit they added to it. They'd be fucking... Oh man. I should play Killing Floor
Splatoon 2. Yep, that's a good one.
Isn't it nice? And then that makes you way more likely, when that sequel comes out, to go, I'm going to have a good time with this for many time and big value. Big value.
The tail end is long.
Yeah. And it keeps them from playing other games.
So, Nioh, we salute you.